Terror in New York. At least 8 people are dead and many more wounded after a driver plowed through people walking and biking.
And this morning, we're trying to figure out the suspect's ties to the Tampa area. We know that the FBI have been at his apartment, and this is north of Sly Avenue.
Seminole Heights refusing to run and hide. The neighborhood standing together as police work to solve 3 murders. Hundreds of families came out to enjoy Halloween last night.
It is 6 o'clock, and in Tampa, northbound Orient Road is still shut down from an accident. This is just south of I-4, so we are starting to see delays.
But feeling great this morning. In fact, warmer than yesterday, 5 to 10 degrees warmer right now, and we get even hotter throughout the rest of the week.
Another terror attack has hit New York City.
A couple of my classmates, they already heard the shots, and then we went to the window and we seen 2 of the bodies lying down.
In the shadow of the new World Trade Center, a man driving a white Home Depot pickup truck jumped a curb and plowed into bicyclists and people walking along a bike path. He killed 8 people. He seriously wounded at least 11 others, including some children. This is the deadliest attack in New York City since September 11th. And this story quickly flooded your Facebook feeds. If you are watching from home right now, we wish you good morning. I also want to give you an idea of where this happened in New York. So this attack spanned roughly a mile down the West Side Highway. The attacker turned onto the bike path near West Houston just after 3 p.m. It stopped when he smashed into a school bus at Chambers. He got out, he tried to run. Witnesses thought he had guns.
I just saw him walking down the streets there with his gun in his hands. Yeah, that's all I saw.
Did you see any kind of expression on his face?
No, he was all walking like he did nothing. Like he was just walking, not even running. He was walking, yeah.
And how was he holding the gun?
On his left hand, yeah.
And was he holding it up? Like
No, down, yeah.
And what did you think when you see this guy with a gun?
It was shocking for me.
An NYPD officer was right there and he shot the attacker. A bullet hit him in the stomach. He is still alive. He's in critical condition. As for those weapons, investigators say he had a paintball gun and a pellet gun. Witnesses say the attacker yelled "God is great" in Arabic. A federal law enforcement source also told CBS News there was a note in that truck referencing ISIS. Now take a look at your screen right here. This is the man they say carried out that attack, and he has ties to Tampa Bay. 29-year-old Sayfullo Saipov. He is a Uzbekistan national. He came to the U.S. in 2010. Emerald Morrow joins us live from Granada Boulevard in Tampa. And Emerald, this is his last known address, and also investigators found a Florida ID on him.
That is correct, Courtney. And, you know, I think that's something that's been pretty surprising to all of the people here in the Tampa Bay area. This is the apartment where he lives. So if you just take a look, you can see that there's not a lot of activity. There's not a lot happening. It's pretty quiet. And that is one thing about this story that I think stands out, is that when you have situations like this with terrorists or suspected terrorists, it doesn't always appear what it doesn't always appear to be what it seems. And I want to also point out that we've gotten reports that investigators have been out in the area interviewing neighbors who are, of course, very unsettled by the news, wondering if similar attacks were planned here. Now let's take another look at 29-year-old Sayfullo Saipov. We mentioned that he came to the country in 2010, and we're learning that he came to the U.S. legally. Now before his attack in New York, he first lived in Ohio and then made his way to Florida. He had a career as a commercial truck driver, and that's been a career he's kept as he's moved from state to state. Now ironically, it was a truck that he chose as a weapon to launch the deadliest attack that New York has seen since 9/11. And we caught up with some of his Tampa neighbors who shared their fears.
It's something scary, something bad, because, you know, knowing that you saw a person just move in like a week ago and then realize that everything is going on is something bad, something scary.
Now, our partners at CBS News, they are saying that investigators are trying to figure out if the suspect has any ties to the IMU, and that stands for the Islamic Movement of Uzbekistan, and that is, of course, in his home country. And we've also seen President Trump react. He is saying that he's vowing to tighten programs to vet immigrants before they enter this country. Reporting live in Tampa, Emerald Morrow, 10 News.
All right, Emerald, thank you. We have been in close contact with CBS News in New York throughout this investigation. Once again, a terrorist has turned a truck into a lethal weapon. And according to terrorism experts, the growing trend is no longer just a European problem. Recent attacks in Barcelona, Nice, France, Berlin, London, and now New York City joins a growing list of cities worldwide that have fallen victim to this trend, where terrorists basically use cars or trucks to plow through densely populated areas and crowds. And it's pretty simple. It's also very effective, and it requires very little planning and coordination. Counterterrorism experts say large-scale attacks typically require a lot more planning, which can then raise red flags with authorities. In this case, renting a truck is legal and doesn't raise any of those flags. The timing of the attack may have also been deliberate, exposing security gaps and soft targets in the country's largest city just before one of the busiest times of the year in New York City. The New York Marathon will happen on Sunday. Next week is Election Day in the mayor's race in New York, and the iconic Macy's Day Thanksgiving Day Parade will happen at the end of the month on Thanksgiving Day.
And I want to ask all New Yorkers to be vigilant. We know in the days ahead people will be uneasy. We ask all New Yorkers to live by the idea: if you see something, say something, tell an officer immediately if you see anything unusual, anything that worries you. Be vigilant, and know that there will be extensive additional employments of NYPD officers this evening and throughout the days ahead.
The FBI Joint Terrorism Task Force is now taking over that investigation. Now, there are still a lot of questions following this attack. One of those questions, and a big one this morning, what does this mean for the security in our nation's largest city moving forward?
And you referenced the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, the New York City Marathon. We're going to have a live report from Manhattan addressing those issues in just about 25 minutes. But this story truly broke on social media. It happened in the afternoon as children were getting out of school. You saw those mangled bicycles. You saw that bus. And it just breaks your heart. Witnesses took to social media to share the horror of what they were seeing. And Courtney, the other issue of this is terrorists know how effective these social media platforms are, and they are abusing them.
That is exactly right, Courtney. You and I were talking about this morning, that they are using social media to recruit people, and these people don't even have to go to a different country. They're saying you can do a terrorist attack exactly where you are with the things that you have. Now, we're not sure how this suspect was recruited, whether it was social media or a different avenue, but we do know the pain that he inflicted on a lot of people.
It's so horrifying to see these videos.
Yes, take a listen to some of these witnesses.
And we see this guy, and he has like guns, and he came out, and I think he had a beard maybe, and then everyone was like, run, get back into school, and then we ran in and hid behind a locker.
But what made me walk over was the first gunshots. I heard about 6, I want to say, and I was just sitting there, and like I said, at first I thought it was fireworks, so we walked over to see what was going on, and then we get up there and we see 2 bodies just on the floor. We were just shocked.
Oh, goodness. Okay, so take a look at this. Police in New Jersey surrounded a car on Tuesday night that they believe belongs to the suspect. That car was parked outside of a Home Depot store in New Jersey. And I'm finding out that police also searched a mosque in nearby Paterson, New Jersey, that they believe this suspect attended. Okay, so take a look at this, too. This was to honor the victims. One World Trade Center turned red, white, and blue. I want to show you a quick visual of this, a little bit better to see. Again, a beautiful tribute to those that were impacted by this. And we are starting to hear things about the victims. Now, we're going to be sharing a little bit more about that in the next 10 minutes or so, but this is a developing story. So when we know something, we're going to let you know. I would encourage you to download our 10 News app in order for you to get that news immediately.
I think maybe the last couple of mornings we could have said cold in some spots. This morning we'll just say cool, maybe refreshing. Temps right around 64 in St. Pete, Tampa right on 60 degrees, still in the 40s, so still cooler than normal up towards Brooksville and Crystal River this morning. But I mean, this time yesterday, you were in the 30s. Here's the plan for the day ahead. Temperatures this afternoon warming up to around 80, 81 degrees. Plenty of sunshine as we go throughout the day. So a little warmer this afternoon. That warming trend will continue through the next couple of days. But as we get into the weekend, we have to start talking about a small chance for just a few isolated showers. Hillary?
Grant, it is 6:08, and there is a crash in Pinellas County through St. Petersburg on northbound 275, right near 54th Avenue North. It's in the median, so FHP, they're on the southbound side in the shoulder, which is why we're seeing a little bit of a southbound delay there already. Speed's not too bad, but certainly traffic is slowing passing that crash. And in Tampa, we are still dealing with this closure on northbound Orient Road. If you're about to head out the door, now we're going to most likely start to see some delays. There's a crash blocking northbound lanes of Orient just south of I-4, so take US 301.
The underground sex trafficking industry brings in millions of dollars every year. People are buying girls for sex. They can be a pastor, a soccer coach, your neighbor. This morning, we're pulling back the curtain and sharing the story of a father who paid for sex.
All this operates in the shadows. All this operates in secrecy. I'm sure there's guys who say, well, I don't go to underage because I know. You don't know. I was a big part of the problem. Not just me, but the purchasers. My side of the equation. If there's nobody going to buy it, there's no need to have supply. When I was in the midst of it, I never thought of it. I never thought of sex trafficking. I was paying to escape for 15 minutes, a half an hour just to escape. This emptiness, it's shame, it's guilt, you just feel like you just vomited on yourself. Typical American guy. I mean, baseball, apple pie, and mom, you know, that's me. First 5, 6, 7 years of marriage were good. Have our second child, and my wife doesn't seem to be really interested in me. I wanted that physical affection, and I wasn't getting it from her. And the prostitute becomes a tool for the purchaser. They're a means for me to get my fix. One of the worst days of my life. To have to tell them what I've become. It's devastating. I had it all, and I chose to throw it away. Ended up getting divorced. Don't have custody of my children.
These stories are alarming. This is part of our series to break the silence, to show the faces, and to end the sex trade. I want you to listen to this. Approximately 1 in 5 buyers has a job working with children. Nearly a quarter are in a position of authority or trust. Maybe they're working as an attorney, a minister, or even in law enforcement. Good morning to you. As you get your day going, here's what you need to know. New York City police officers say the man you just saw behind the terror attack in New York has ties to Tampa Bay. The attack killed 8 people and wounded at least 11 others, including 2 children. This is the deadliest terror attack in New York City since September 11th.
Well, 2 of my favorite words in all of sports, Game 7. The Dodgers were able to rally last night against the Astros and their ace, Justin Verlander. They win Game 6 by a score of 3-1. That series now tied at 3. It'll be winner take all in Game 7 tonight. First pitch is at 8:20.
And executives from social media giants Facebook, Twitter, and Google were on Capitol Hill on Tuesday. They are testifying on the Russia influence during the presidential election last year.
In less than 5 days, there have been 6 deadly hit and runs across the Bay Area. 5 of the people killed were walking. 1 was on a bicycle. Jenny Dean has been on top of this. Jenny, you were the one who caught on to this, noting the rash of hit and runs in really such a short time.
Yeah, Courtney, it really is pretty shocking. The most recent happened just yesterday. That was over in Highlands County. That was 11 o'clock in the morning. But let's go back to Saturday. There were actually 4 deaths. A man was killed riding his bike along Masterpiece Road and Longhorn Drive out in Polk County in Lake Wales. Another man died in Highlands County while walking along Lakeshore Drive and Meadow Lane. Then just after 4 a.m. Saturday morning down in Manatee County, a 27-year-old man was hit while walking on 16th Street East near 44th Avenue East. That night at 10:30 p.m. up in Pasco County, another man was hit walking along US 19 and Saltwater Boulevard. And then Hillsborough County. Sometime between Sunday afternoon and early Monday morning, right around here, a 20-year-old man was hit on Orient Road near Hannah Avenue.
And Jenny, when we look at this, I mean, so many deaths in just a day and a half. This last one that you were talking about, Orient Road, this 20-year-old, deputies are telling you that had that person stopped and maybe called police, called 911, this guy could still be alive.
It is possible. They really don't know exactly when he was hit, and that's why the case is particularly tragic here, because the man was hit and then literally left to die by the side of the road. It was hours before his body was discovered. I want to show you video where the sheriff's office says it happened on Orient Road just north of Hannah Avenue. They say Mustafa Abdullah was hit as he walked down this street, hit by a pickup truck sometime between 4 p.m. on Sunday and 2:40 a.m. when his body was spotted by someone driving by.
We're confident with the public's help. Somebody out there knows where this vehicle's at. Somebody has seen this unusual damage, and like most of the cases, someone will call us and give us the tip we need to bring this family some justice.
Deputies are looking for a teal green Dodge pickup truck, late 90s to early 2000s. It will be missing the passenger mirror. They were able to find that at the scene. So if you see anything or know anything about this or any of the other hit and runs from over the weekend, you need to call police. Or if you want to remain anonymous, call Crime Stoppers. That phone number, 1-800-873-TIPS. Now, in some of these cases, police have no leads or description of the vehicle. In others, they have very little to go on, and they are relying on witnesses to call them so they can give these families justice and closure. And we do have more information on all of these hit and runs on our website and our 10 News app.
Feeling good this morning, not quite as cool as we have the last couple of mornings. We're actually about 5 to 10 degrees. My breakfasts are normally over here. That's why I'm turning to look here. But so let's go over here and look at this. Temperatures 5 to 10 degrees warmer than average. It helps when I've got this behind me to talk about, right? Plant City 13 degrees warmer than where you were 24 hours ago. So still a bit of a cool feel in the air this morning, but honestly it's pretty refreshing. 60 degrees out there currently, your dew point of 53. So a hint of humidity begins to return. Not so much today, but just the higher dew point means that we have a little more moisture in our atmosphere. So we're going to be working with the return of the humidity, maybe feeling somewhat sticky through Saturday and Sunday afternoon. Still feeling great for the next couple of days. Plenty of sunshine, but with that increasing moisture will also come an increased chance for a small shower or two Saturday and Sunday afternoon. In the meantime, temperature-wise, we're in the low and mid 50s for most of us. Tampa at 60, 64 in St. Pete, but Clearwater here at 55 degrees right now. Land O'Lakes 52, Lakeland 57 degrees. Dry air out there, and that means that we've got mostly clear skies. So with that, temperatures are cooling, continuing until probably about an hour after sunrise or so. Lutz, you're at 51, 52 degrees right now in Land O'Lakes. So there's your mostly clear sky out there right now, and we'll continue to see that clear sky with that sunshine as we go through the day. 81 degrees this afternoon. South-southeast wind anywhere from 5 to 10 miles per hour this afternoon. 7-day forecast does not look too bad if you ask me. 83 degrees tomorrow afternoon, 82 on Friday. There's that small chance, a couple of isolated sprinkles possible through the afternoon hours Saturday and Sunday. Don't forget, put it on your calendar, set the alarm on the clock, turn your clock back an hour. We're losing daylight saving time, so we turn our clocks back an hour Sunday into Monday with low and mid 80s continuing for the beginning of next week.
So we turn our clocks back Sunday into Monday, right?
Yeah, no, Saturday into Sunday. Saturday into
That's what it
Sunday. Did I say Sunday into Monday?
No.
Okay.
I was just clearing that
Sometimes
up.
I say things I don't know what I'm talking about. So.
Okay. No, you said it right.
Okay.
Wanted to make sure, and we could do it even earlier just to get used to it.
Yeah, Saturday night, right?
Why not? Yeah. All right, so this morning, if you are heading out at 621, we have a major accident in Pasco County on northbound 75 before Blanton Road. So this is north of San Antonio. All lanes are blocked. Traffic is getting by on the left shoulder, but you know that's going to really slow down traffic, and we're already seeing that. So please give yourself time there. Also in Tampa on 275 northbound at the Howard Armenia exit, there's an accident. It's off to the side, but you know that area, if there's a crash on the side, sometimes as traffic picks up, we do start to see a delay, so I'll watch that for you. Good news though, on Orient Road, this crash northbound has cleared just south of I-4, so all lanes are back open there. In Pinellas, we still have this crash northbound 275 through St. Pete. This is just south of 54th Avenue North. not blocking any lanes, so your travel time is normal, 9 minutes from the Skyway Bridge north to Gandy Boulevard. And in southern Sarasota County, let's check out 75 in the green for you. And I also checked it as you head north into Manatee County. You are completely quiet, and that's also the case for the I-4 corridor as you head into Polk County. No issues in the Lakeland area. You can see speeds looking really good on your interstates.
All right, full disclosure, I think I came out of the womb like meat and potato ready.
Carnivore.
Yes, for sure, but in honor of all the vegans out there, today is World Vegan Day. Maybe I'll give it a go.
Yeah.
It will be very hard, but
One
I
day.
would.
You could do it for one day,
One
but
day.
that's it for me. And in fact, I don't even want to be vegan. But if you did, this is the place to do
It's a
it.
very difficult
right here,
thing.
yeah, but right here in Tampa, because a
Why?
recent Wallet Hub study says that Tampa was ranked as the 15th best city for vegans and vegetarians. St. Pete, they came in at 71st. Now, the study compared the 100 most populated cities in 3 different categories: affordability, accessibility, and vegetarian lifestyle. And one of the aspects of vegetarian lifestyle is the availability of festivals. And there is a huge vegan festival this weekend in Tampa. The Tampa Bay Veg Fest is returning for its 8th year and will celebrate all things plant-based. It's a great opportunity to learn more about that lifestyle, meet some really cool people, and just have a little bit of fun. All right, Tampa Bay Veg Fest is this Saturday from 10 to 5 p.m. at Fort Brook Park in Tampa. Hillary, that's a festival I would go to. I would try the food, but on the way home, I would stop and get a cheeseburger.
What? What's the point?
Because you need them. I need them.
You need it.
I need
okay,
it.
that you're yes. I don't, and I love raw vegan. Have you ever tried that?
I haven't.
It's interesting. All right, so we know your commute can be terrible, but who has the worst drive in Tampa Bay? It's not us because we leave the house at around 2 in the morning. But next week, you have a chance to win a stress-free Friday commute in a limo. Yes, we will tell you how you can send in a video of your traffic rant and win this. And Sean has an example for you.
Today I had the worst commute ever. First, had to drop the kids off at school. Guess what? One forgot their lunch, so it was back to the house. Then I had to sit on I-4. Tons of traffic. Once I finally made it across the bridge, I wound up here at work.
I don't even have kids.
Yeah, he doesn't have kids.
No, I don't know who I was dropping off.
Yeah, you wasted some time dropping off those kids that aren't yours. All right, so be sure to turn on Brightside on Monday. We're going to tell you how you can post your video, how you can enter this contest and win that limo ride.
There's still so much information coming out on the terrorist attack in New York. We're going to take you live to New York City. Stay right there.
We got multiple casualties. This is a mass casualty situation here. Be advised, we have multiple people on the ground from Chambers all the way up to Houston.
There was one female that I saw near the body. She must have seen it actually happen because she just kept screaming and it was...
There were 3 bicycles and they were destroyed to the point where I didn't know that bicycles could be destroyed in such a way.
This is just a normal day at school for me, and it was just surprising to see something like this could happen down there.
It was not far from the new World Trade Center tower. Officers say 29-year-old Sayfullo Saipov used a rented truck to carry out a deadly terror attack. 8 people are dead, at least 11 seriously wounded, including 2 children. According to investigators, around 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon, he jumped a curb along the West Side Highway onto a bike path. For roughly a mile, he plowed into bicyclists and walkers. The attack ended when he crashed into a school bus near Stuyvesant High School. An NYPD officer was there and shot him in the stomach. He is alive and he is in the hospital right now. And one thing that we are seeing on social media, a lot of you are saying you're glad that he's alive because you hope that you're able to get some answers. Hina Doba is live for us this morning in Lower Manhattan. And Hina, one of the questions people are asking is it possible that this man had help?
Good morning, Courtney. Well, what we do know right now at this time, law enforcement does believe ISIS was involved. With that said, they believe he was a lone wolf. They don't think there was a wider terrorist plot, but security has been added throughout the city. We've seen NYPD officers throughout every landmark in the city. When I was coming here, a lot of the streets were on lockdown, including right here in downtown. In fact, that crash you were talking about when the suspect crashed into the school bus was about a block behind me, right in the shadow of the New World Trade Center. And in that truck was a note referring to ISIS.
Hannah, when we're talking about security and, of course, increased security after something like this, you have the New York City Marathon that's happening this Sunday. Following that is going to be the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade in 3 weeks. So it begs the question how law enforcement is going to prepare for those events, especially when you see an attacker using something as primitive as a truck.
Absolutely right. And you know, since 9/11, I have to say all of those events, the Thanksgiving Day Parade and the marathon, we've always seen high security there, but I'm sure it will be a lot tighter this time around, especially because this bike path is very popular. It's called a soft target. There's no barricades, there's no security. The suspect rented a truck and just barreled his way down, killing at least 8 people. And they want to make sure that many of the streets surrounding the marathon and the parade, like they have done every year, will be closed off. Even with the media, I know they always check our cameras. There's always a long line just to get to the media pen when these events are taking place.
Hannah Dobo live for us in New York City this morning. Hannah, thank you so much and be safe.
6:34 is now the time. Another piece of that investigation taking place right here in Florida, specifically here in Tampa, where that suspect used to live. Emerald Morrow is live on Granada, just outside of the apartment. Investigators have traced back to that suspect. And Emerald, this is pretty scary if you're just waking up joining us here on 10 News, hearing that this guy once lived in Tampa. Do we have any idea what brought him to this area?
Well, Rob, that is the question that everybody wants the answer to. What was this guy doing here? Well, it's a question that investigators are still trying to get the answers to, trying to piece together some information. And I want to show you the apartment where he lived. We're right off of 56th Street North in Tampa. And this is one of the places where FBI officials have been conducting interviews, trying to learn more about this man. Now, we saw investigators here last night trying to get whatever evidence they can to help them get a better profile of this suspect. We're already getting a few clues. We know that he moved here from Uzbekistan in 2010 and that he lived in Ohio and worked as a truck driver before moving here to Tampa. What's interesting is he's built a career around commercial truck driving, and he's also owned a couple of related businesses. He also worked for Uber, but has since been banned from the company. Another interesting thing that I want to point out is that according to CBS News, intelligence officials have been keeping an eye out for these types of attacks, and this is especially after what happened in Nice. Now, NYPD officials have been in contact with rental truck agencies to make sure that they're keeping an eye on what types of customers are renting these trucks so they can do their very best to try to keep tragedies like this from happening. Reporting live in Tampa, Emerald Morrow, 10 News.
All right, Emerald, thank you. Fascinating that he did once work for Uber. We are starting to learn more about the 8 people that were killed and the 11 others, at least 11 others who were hurt, including 2 kids. 5 of those killed were from Argentina. They were childhood friends who were in the city celebrating the 30th anniversary of their high school graduation. A Belgian woman visiting the city was also among the dead. Now, we don't know much about the condition of the people that were hurt, but we are working to get their names and pictures so we can bring that to you as well.
Absolutely. In social media this morning, it is all about New York. I have been following it very closely, this deadly attack. I want to take you along the path that Sayfullo Saipov drove. Okay, so take a look at this. Here is a picture of the truck. We showed you this earlier. He was able to just jump a curve and start plowing this truck right into bicyclists and people that were walking. Now, do note that the death toll did rise to 8 people. This one was posted a little bit earlier. All right, take a look at this map. You can see how far he was able to go based on the victims that were laid out along this path. It was roughly 15 to 17 blocks long, a mile. And this red dot that you see at the bottom left-hand side of your screen, this is where he crashed his truck into a school bus before getting out and saying Allahu Akbar, which means God is the greatest. Now, I'm about to show you the school bus that was hit, but I do warn you that this could be disturbing to some people, but we want to be transparent and authentic with you guys about the severity of this. Okay, so take a look at this video here. There you go. So we have blurred it out intentionally because we do not know if a child in there is dead or alive. We do know that 2 of those people involved in this were children. Again, we don't know the severity of the conditions of these people. But we're going to keep you guys updated about this because this is a very active and developing story. We're going to hear more about these victims. But I would encourage you to download our 10 News app because we're going to be pushing out every notification that you need to know about this story.
Last couple of mornings, I know coming, we've been wearing a scarf to work or school this morning. Hey, go for it. I mean, this morning it may be a little warmer, but hey, it looks good, doesn't it? 60 in Tampa right now, St. Pete 64 degrees, Lakeland, you're hanging out in your 57 degrees. Same with Sarasota. Here's the plan for today. You may want to shed that scarf later this afternoon, or maybe not, I don't know. And temperatures will be up around 80, 81 degrees, sunshine throughout the day. We're bringing back the warmth, but we also bring back a small chance for a few isolated showers. Nothing to be concerned about, but it's going to be over your weekend, so we'll have to break down that forecast in just a few minutes. Today also the first day of November, which means it's still hurricane season. So if we ever are tracking one of those late season storms, you can listen to our coverage on our radio partners, the Dove 105.5, the Eagle 107.3, WSRQ, and Magic 94.9.
All right, let's take a look at traffic now. 6:38 is the time, and we are starting to see a pretty big delay on the connector to westbound I-4 in downtown Tampa, and then 275 southbound is slow from about Hillsborough Avenue to the downtown interchange. We're also flying over a crash on Hillsborough Avenue. Let's go live there to Sky 10. This is Hillsborough at McDill. That's the intersection. Looks like there's a westbound delay there because a couple of westbound lanes are blocked right at the intersection. You're seeing a little bit of a delay, so make sure you give yourself some time, or there's a lot of side streets that you can use to work around this.
This morning, another story that we are staying on top of involves the 3 murders in Seminole Heights. They remain unsolved. That still didn't stop trick-or-treaters or neighbors from handing out candy. Last night, Mayor Bob Buckhorn, police, and hundreds of families made sure that kids were out and they were enjoying Halloween.
It really means a lot because if this wasn't able to be here, we wouldn't be out here. And this is my son's really first Halloween that he can come out.
We're sending a signal that evil is not going to win this, that good is going to win. And we've got this neighborhood's back, and we're going to be here until we catch this guy.
The mayor has promised to find that guy. He says he wants his head on a platter. This was not just families in Seminole Heights trick-or-treating. Families from all over actually came out to show support, and that includes Tampa Bay Rays pitcher Chris Archer. He was out there showing his support.
So nice to see that. Tampa strong this morning and New York strong as well.
I know we've seen One World Trade Center lit up, red, white, and blue. Governor Cuomo saying that's to show freedom and democracy.
Yep.
It is still, however, a somber morning in Manhattan as many people are waking up and getting going.
It really is. And we are staying on top of the deadly terrorist attack in New York City and how that suspect was connected to the city of Tampa.
Good morning. Your time now 6:44. As you head out the door this morning, I want you to take a look at this. We're taking a live look in Lower Manhattan. We've been able to see, as the chopper is moving around, we've been able to see that rented Home Depot pickup truck that investigators say the terrorists used to carry out an attack on the Lower West Side and along the West Side Highway. And we're kind of just waiting to see what they're zoning in on. There you can see the truck right here. And of course, plenty of investigators on the scene. This attack killed 8 people. It wounded 11. Mayor Bill de Blasio called this cowardly.
Beverly Hills police are now investigating sexual harassment allegations against who else but producer Harvey Weinstein. But this time, director James Toback's involved. This comes less than a month after a long list of women came forward. The latest accusations accuse the men of sexually harassing them inside hotel rooms.
And a local story that you can find on our website. Trick-or-treating turned horrifying for one family in St. Petersburg. A 3-year-old boy was attacked by a dog when he opened the door of someone's home. For more information about this story, head over to WTSP.com.
Right here, you can just see smoke. It is finally out. Firefighters have put an end to the massive Tubbs fire. It destroyed parts of Northern California, including wine country. Fire crews put this out yesterday, putting an end to the devastation that we saw. These fires killed 43 people, damaged or destroyed some 14,000 homes, and it's estimated that the damage could reach $8 billion.
On a day like this, is it satisfying?
It's very satisfying to have to, put in a lot of work to be able to find things to put out is a good thing rather than everything being on fire around you.
It's definitely a night and day difference, a sense of relief.
Crews from the EPA started the recovery process in California on Friday. They've now doubled their crews and cleared 2,000 burned properties.
Time is of the essence. The property owners want to start the rebuild process, and so we're trying to clean up and clear these properties as fast as possible.
The EPA hopes to clean out half of the burned hazardous materials by the end of the weekend. That's a lofty goal. In order to speed things up, they have to have homeowners sign right to entry paperwork that lets the feds get in, get stuff cleaned up, but some are refusing to do that. And so this could take quite a while, especially when you're looking at the devastation that you see right there on your screen. Grant Gilmore is here with us now. And Grant, when we're talking about the wildfires burning in California, I mean, they are suffering from a drought, but also we seem to be hearing more and more about wildfires.
Yeah, out there in California, they went for such a long time, and so much of the area was so dry. When the wildfires spark, they just spread into areas that you don't typically see it. I mean, Napa and wine country, seeing those wildfires. Here's the good thing, though, as we look at the latest drought monitor. The area that's under the moderate drought there in the LA area in Southern California, moderate drought now, but this time last year they were underneath exceptional drought conditions, the worst of the drought. So things are much, much better. It's really just unfortunate, though, that they sparked those fires and they spread so quickly. Hopefully we can continue to have better conditions for California as they head into the winter months. For us, though, we're waking up under very nice conditions this morning. 64 in St. Pete, Tampa, you're at 60, 49 in Brooksville, 46 degrees in beautiful Crystal River this morning. Crystal clear skies, but warmer temperatures. How about this? 5 to at least 10 degrees warmer than this time yesterday. Lakeland, you are 11 degrees warmer than where you were 24 hours ago. So we're waking up under refreshing conditions. And I think we're going to have those nice conditions throughout the day as well. Just a couple of clouds passing over parts of Polk County this morning. I got to take you up into the Ohio Valley this morning just to show you what our friends to the north are dealing with. A little bit of snow falling from Ohio back into Indiana this morning. We're going to talk with Hillary and see if I-75 is a little bit busier this morning, but beautiful conditions. We're not going to see hardly any of that precipitation. We may begin to see a little more moisture as we head through the second half of the week into the weekend. And with a passing upper level disturbance, we may get a sprinkle, but you can see, I mean, not much on the future cast as we make our way through the next couple of days. Temperature-wise, we're staying in the low to mid 80s as we make our way through the next couple of days. The allergy forecast, no changes there. We're going to keep it in the medium range with that ragweed, grass, and elm pollen flying around. Temperatures today, right on the normal, 81 degrees, mostly sunny conditions. As we go into the evening, another pleasant night out there. Wasn't it nice last night for Halloween? Man, it was beautiful. It'll be beautiful through the rest of the week, too. 83 tomorrow, 82 degrees on Friday. Your weekend, I would not worry about that 20% chance of rain. It's going to be great. Just know you may see a sprinkle through the weekend. We turn our clocks back as we lose daylight saving time on Sunday. And then into Monday, not much change. 20% chance of rain with high temperatures in the low 80s. So, Hillary, what do you think? Snow falling through Ohio.
Yeah.
When do the snowbirds begin to flock down
Oh,
this
this month they will start coming. Yeah, and our population in Florida rises about 5%.
That's right.
And we start to see more accidents.
Rightfully so, because it's beautiful down here this time
Exactly.
of year.
We love having them here, too. Some of our most loyal viewers are snowbirds
Come
or
on
winter
down.
visitors.
We're open. Let's go.
Yes, I know. Come on down. All right, 6:49 is the time, and woo, look at that. We just went in the red on northbound 75 through Pasco County, just north of San Antonio. There's an accident in the northbound lanes of 75 before Blanton Road, and guys, this is causing a massive delay. Your lanes are blocked here, and traffic is only getting by on the left shoulder, which is why you are seeing conditions just absolutely jammed here. Please leave early. Give yourself plenty of time. You also have the option of taking US 301, which is to the east. That could get you around this as well. In Tampa, I-4 westbound is a little slow going towards the downtown interchange. We're used to that. But let's go live to Sky 10. There was a crash reported on 275 northbound right here near Howard, Armenia. We can't find it. That's good news. And traffic both north and south here on 275 is looking pretty good. But when you see the delay that we are seeing as you come off the Howard Franklin Bridge and go north into Tampa, you can see traffic is just a little slow. But again, that is typical for rush hour. So it's not something that you're going to go in and not be used to. Just leave a little early. 275 through St. Pete, a little slow. There's a crash right near 54th Avenue North. It's on the northbound side, but FHP is on the southbound side to respond to it. So that's why you're seeing a little bit of a southbound delay. Your travel time is 9 minutes, though, in both directions. That's between the Skyway Bridge and Gandy Boulevard.
6:50 is the time. I wanted to kind of back things up for a moment, if I could, because I feel like people have kind of forgotten about the investigation into the president's administration and possible connections to Russia during the 2016 election. It's been going on for 7 months now, and on Monday, the first dominoes really fell after 3 people with ties to the administration were formally charged with crimes. But if you've never served on a grand jury, you might not have any idea where those charges came from. So first of all, a grand jury is a large panel of regular citizens. They don't formally charge people, and they don't determine innocence or guilt like a trial jury would. But they typically review the evidence gathered by prosecutors and then decide if there's enough to charge someone with a crime. Grand juries are conducted totally in private, and if they do decide there's enough evidence, they issue an indictment, meaning the prosecution can then formally charge someone with a crime, which is what we saw happen on Monday. But this whole thing is a lot bigger than just the investigation right now. In May, the Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein issued a letter right here saying that Bob Mueller was now the special counsel. Now, in that letter, and come with me here, he gave Bob Mueller basically unlimited power to investigate really anything, and there's Bob Mueller right there. But he can investigate any links or coordination between the Russian government and individuals associated with the campaign of the president and matters, any matters that arose or might arise directly from that investigation. And this is where it gets really interesting. It also includes matters associated with 28 CFR 600.4. And you're probably asking yourself, what the heck is that? Well, it's basically the governing code for the Department of Justice, meaning that Bob Mueller can now prosecute you if you lie for covering up a crime, including perjury, obstruction of justice, destruction of evidence, witness intimidation, anything. It's all on the table right now. And the president, of course, has maintained his innocence. But he's also made it clear that he's got the power to pardon anybody really that he wants. So the big question is now, will he actually do that? Well, according to his lawyer, he said this yesterday, no, the president will not pardon anyone, at least for now.
It's time now to announce our 10 News School of the Week, powered by Duke Energy Florida. Congrats to the Coyotes at Cypress Creek Middle High, a brand new school in Pasco County. Friday, we're going to be there live to show you all that they have to offer. Congrats and have a great day.